Bonjour, salutations ou bonne soirée. Tainted Grell, The Fall of Avalon. Alors, je cherche dans le phare. Je ne me souviens plus, j'avais déjà visité avec d'autres personnages. S'il y a une table d'alchimie, j'ai quasiment vidé toutes mes potions. Je sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Je sais pas ce qui s'est passé. J'ai appuyé sans faire exprès sur la touche carrée de manière ininterrompue. Mais tout à l'heure, c'était complètement vide. Alors, à Corne du Sud, j'ai pas trouvé. Il y en a peut-être une. La table d'alchimie. Je me demande s'il n'y en avait pas une en haut dans quelqu'un qui logeait. Enfin. J'ai vu qu'il y avait Ali, je me souviens, et des affaires. Viande de chien, canidé. A priori, c'est pas du vol, hein, c'est écrit en blanc. Je crois qu'ils ont les mêmes symboliques que dans Oblivion et toutes les séries Bethesda. Qui peut bien habiter ici? Bah, le gardien du phare, mais j'étais allé jusqu'en haut, j'ai rencontré personne. Écoute, mon gars, t'as l'air d'avoir abandonné le phare. Non, bah non, y a un lit, mais il y a pas. Bon, on sait qu'il y a une table d'alchimie là, dans le Bronx. Je me suis bien planté. C'est où le dernier pas de contrôle? Pas refaire toute la tour quand même. Euh... J'ai ramassé tout ce qu'il y avait dans la tour ou pas là? Viande de canidé par exemple. Ah, je sais pas. Voilà, je crois que c'est bon. Oui, il y avait 52 pièces là-haut. Je me suis trompé, j'ai appuyé sur croix pour sauter. C'est pas croix, c'est comme dans bah, triangle en haut. Quelque chose, ça. Ouais, ok. Ouais. En fait, il avait dû sauvegarder au moment où je suis sorti de la tour. Alors, je suis têtu, je vais refaire le saut. Oh. Ah ouais, il sauvegarde quand on change. Quand on télécharge les portes. Alors, saut, c'est triangle, pas croix, hein. Pas oublier ça. Presque. Ouf, c'était bon. Merci. Ouf. C'est chaud, hein. Oui, moi aussi. Nice. Mais ça me dit pas où... Bon, ça, c'est pas du vol. Hop. Ah, ça me dit pas où il y a une table d'alchimie. Voilà, c'est bien comme je disais. Quand c'est du vol, c'est en rouge. Même... il a dit que j'avais le droit de dormir ici. Même... symbolique que dans notre jeu.
Blessings upon you, stranger. May the word always resonate within your soul. It's a sickness, a corruption, but also a mystery. Many of my brothers would call it a curse, a stain upon Avalon that must be purged. And yet, I wonder, did Kai not teach us that all things have a purpose? That even suffering carries wisdom? The weirdness twists and warps, yes. It consumes and it takes. But it also gives. Life grows in its wake, strange and terrible, but life all the same. If we are to fight it, we must first understand it. And that is what frightens the Church most of all. Understanding. What do you mean, my child? Indeed, my child. I have served in the Horns of the South since I turned 20. So, it's now my 40th year in the service of Kai and this noble abode. As for the asylum, I only know as much as my brothers deem necessary to relay to me in their letters. I only receive reports on their progress towards curing the Red Death. I'm afraid that I simply cannot believe your blasphemous words without proof. So it's your word against the word. Let's leave it at that. As prepared as any men can be against something they barely understand. Swords and fire will hold back beasts. But what of the creeping rot that twists flesh and mind alike? But there is one thing. The Excalibur they keep here. It has not been wielded in an age, yet the weird does not creep near it. Well, even as it rests upon its pedestal, the air around it remains untouched. The tendrils of corruption that strangle stone and steel refuse to claim it. The Keepers may not see it for what it is, but I do. There is power in that blade. Something ancient. Something beyond the Church's teachings. And if it truly holds back the weirdness, then perhaps it was never meant for men alone. Safe? No. But safer than most, I suppose. But tell me, what is safety, truly? A stronghold? A weapon? A prayer? I've seen men with all three fall just the same. So no, I do not feel safe. But I do feel watched. And sometimes that is enough. May Kai's word always guide you. In the word, you will find solace.
Lui, c'est pas le prieur. Frère, t'es pas prieur. J'ai pas confiance, je lui donne pas la lettre. C'est comme ça. Peut-être que dans le temps, je me rendrai compte que c'était à lui, mais... Pour l'instant, je lui donne pas la lettre, c'est tout. Il va pas assister. Oh, bon sang, où est le laboratoire d'alchimie, quoi? Y en a pas dans cette ville de bouseux, là?
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Connacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now? Nowhere? Never heard about it. Must be a shithole like no other. And I think I won't learn much about politics from you.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course. Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know one. And that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else. You finally get it. It's just a pity that there are so few like us. Well, we just have to keep going, eh? And while we're at it, I have to get back to work. I'm on duty.
Intéressant, le gars. Ou alors aller chez Tarbé, ou finalement, il... rentrer là-dedans? Pourquoi pas? Tout ce qu'il disait, pourquoi pas? Bon, il n'y a pas une... C'est tout pourri là-dedans, hein? Il n'y a pas de table d'alchimie. Bon, dans la caserne, est-ce qu'ils ont pas un soldat mage ou... Et là, c'est du vol. Il n'y a pas une table d'alchimie là-dedans, c'est pas normal. Hein. Dans les villes, il devrait y en avoir. Même si c'est une petite... Même si c'est un petit bastion, ça, mais bon.
I like it when things are quiet. Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened? Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you. Yeah. After we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then, he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Virgus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink. Sometimes I wonder, you know, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. They took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Yes. That damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started... moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. That's... I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. Couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too. I heard that dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made. Always good to have a little rest. For that. Here's that.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be
Oh là
happy
là,
to
c'est interminable
introduce
sans façon de
you
parler.
to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South.
Je sais pas trop.
The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South, from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find interior
Oh, purée.
craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts.
Oh, mon vieux, accélère la cadence et le ton un peu. Il me fait bien.
But I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, or subjectively, of course, the most interesting.
Il est gratiné, lui.
Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the
Oh là là.
15th year of the Avalonian era.
Mon Dieu, t'as 2 minutes 30 pour terminer. Ah non, je veux pas me moquer de lui. Je sais trop.
Yes, it's remarkable, isn't it? You can find them in the central display. Sewell's boots were sewn from 3 pieces of tanned calfskin, tied at the top with a leather strap. The seam goes through the middle of the instep, which is decorated with ornamental embroidery. On the outer side of each shoe, you can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved,
Ah, il me
which
fait
is
marrer.
unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means that even the keepers of that time must have realized the historical value of Sewell's boots, and therefore made sure to adequately preserve them. It is indeed an interesting exhibit. The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day. Of course it's interesting. I don't understand how it
Oh,
could not be.
mince.
It is part of our history, our cultural heritage. But I digress. The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. It consists of a plate, a bowl, and a chalice. The edges are decorated with the motifs of Camelot, a crown and a bear. However, those ornaments are of visibly low
Oh,
quality.
comment tu peux
That
dire ça?
detail, and the fact that those are the only wares from that time that have survived to this day, leads us to conclude that this set was cast specifically for that occasion, and that it was finished by a person unfamiliar with this kind of craft, perhaps a blacksmith or an armorer. Really? Do you mean it? Ah, thank you. That's really nice to hear.
Bon bah t'as
I'm
déjà oublié
used
que
to
tu t'es énervé là?
positive feedback. Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me, or touching the exhibits with their greasy fingers. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513. It was described in The Last Voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I'd say it should be classified as fiction. Lady Elaine thought differently. Apparently she's looking for the wreck of the Andraste. Can you believe that? Definitely. Personally, I believe that people gifted with curious minds should share their observations, for there's always a chance it will result in new developments. You should find Lady Elaine in the tavern, or somewhere close to it. Good luck. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it. Since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper, drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Of course not. That was just the first of his many great deeds. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sewell Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation.
Merci mon vieux, c'était sympa. Ok, bon, alors... mais c'est bizarre, mais toutes mes potions elles disparaissent là, de... Y a un bug ou quoi? J'ai rien consommé. Oh... Y a un timer d'existence sur les potions? Non, c'est pas possible. Je comprends pas là, sérieusement je comprends pas. Emplacement auto, remplissage. Là, potion, allez hop. Là, potion de mana. Il y a quoi qui restaure de la mana? Oh, il y a rien qui restaure ma mana là? Dans la nourriture, il y a des trucs là, qui restaurent de la mana en... Ça là. Hop. Alors pourquoi... Bon. Pourquoi elles disparaissent de... Attends, j'ai visité les fabuleux objets de ton musée, mon gars. Alors, bah, c'est une assiette en bois et je vois pas trop les gravures. Même mal à droite. Ah, la cuillère du roi Arthur, quand même. Les bottes, t'as dit qu'elles étaient ornementées. Ouais, si on veut. C'est quoi ça? La bourse de pionnier. Sawell, pionnière. Pionnier. Ouais, ouais, ouais. La bourse d'argent, hein, de piécettes. Eh, tu m'as pas parlé de tout ça? Non. On va faire ça. On a le droit de s'asseoir? Non, on n'a pas le droit. C'est réservé au siège de monsieur. Bon. Alors les gars, vous n'avez pas une table d'alchimie ici, là, dans les quartiers du capitaine? Donc elle fait peur, votre... Dans les sous-sols, il n'y a pas... Oh, il y a des mystères à découvrir. Non. C'est de là que je viens? Non, non, ah non, non, c'est... Ah, d'accord. Euh, Table d'alchimie, les gars. Oh, c'est quelque chose. Bon. Ah, c'est marrant, on peut voir... il y a un jour. Ça a l'air en mauvais état, hein. On voit directement de la pierre et... Euh... Eh, mais c'est pas la porte du... Non. Ah non, je suis en haut. Euh... Esc- Excalibur. Bon. Bah, pour la table d'alchimie, on y reviendra, hein.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning majesty, King Arthur, and the Knights of the Round Tables. I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain
Ça, c'est
conscious for a
affreux.
few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandits' problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight.
Pas l'air d'encourager grand-chose.
The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did with the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it would end. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up, and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudiarg. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudiarg came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgane would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's a reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. Again? You really like killing, don't you? Do you
J'ai
shoot them with
pas...
arrows from afar, or do you prefer to get right up?
Bon.
Oh,
Chef bandit non
someone
plus.
finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board. Go, the hunter waits. Oh,
Bon.
hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Ah si, j'ai eu des pièces. Ah mais il faut que
Please, state
Combien-
your business. Incredible. There's an ogre, a really nasty son of a bitch, holed up in a nearby brook. I've heard that one swing of his hammer can turn a bear into a bloodbath. As you can imagine, the keepers aren't too keen on dealing with him, even though the ogre roams just off the main road to the north. When Galahad arrives, he certainly won't be pleased. If by some miracle you manage to kill it, You'll earn Camelot's gratitude and a hefty reward. Bring me the ogre's shiny eye as proof of the kill. The Brock is right off the King's Road. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Go, the hunter waits. Again? You really like killing, don't you?
Ah, ça a disparu.
Go, the hunter waits.
Ah,
Do you
ok.
keep Annette's fingers as trophies? I would.
Ok, ok, ok. Bon. Alors, 4 minutes, j'ai le temps de rien et j'ai même pas le... Bah, je vais commencer par quête. Il faut que je parle à je sais pas qui là. Ah, mince. Ah, c'est ça qu'il faut que je fasse. Et il est où Bah, il est par là-bas. Le village. T'es toujours là, toi? Eh ben.
Oh, peaceful, dull, windy. I've served here for 20 years and nothing's changed. Oh, except for the lockdown. That's something new. Yeah, so get me started. I grew up inland in Blightweed. It's a backwater, but at least it's dry and not as windy. Ah, but there's one good thing about Blightweed. Yeah, root water. The
Ça va pas changer.
best moonshine on Avalon. Aye, we had some good times, me and Rootwater. But one day my parents just dropped me here. I don't remember how it happens. I just woke up with a huge hangover, but they kept me. Ah, the keepers, I mean. Keepers? So, I pulled myself together, you know. Now I've got a good life here in the Orns of the South. I've got an important job, yeah? Guarding the gate. But I do miss home sometimes, and the moonshine. Ah, we had some special root there for root water. I tried to find it in the woods nearby, but I guess it just doesn't grow here. Oh, should you ever be in the area, go to the tavern and try the moonshine. Oh, and gather some roots so you can make more for yourself, yeah? Well, nobody gets in and nobody gets out. Don't ask me why. I don't give a shit. Oh, but you have this thingy pinned so you can come and go as you please, eh? Just don't forget about ye old keeper.
Me. I mean, me. Oh, and the moonshine. We belong together, you know.
Je lui demanderai plus tard. Parce que là, ça va. Il ronfle à nouveau. Bon. Bah, il est toujours là, le cerf. Ah, je croyais que c'était des latrines. Oh, bah on trouve des trucs là-dedans. Ouais, ça a l'air d'être des latrines. Non, je sais pas. Ah, filet diable, filet diable, filet diable. Au soleil vivace ou je sais pas quoi, hein, comme dirait Hermione. Non, l'inverse.